Welcome back to the number one podcast in Ireland, where we go into reality and talk about whatever we want. I am Usman, running solo for this episode, and this is season 2 of the podcast. So, first of all, I would like to apologize for, for the previous episode, for the first 5 minutes. You heard nothing, completely nothing from myself, and that is because my my mic from another headphone that I was using was not working, and I did not realize that out until after the whole episode. I went and checked it back. Thankfully, within that episode, I did change to another set of earphones, which that mic was working. So, yeah, that's that one. So, first of all, I would like to wish all the Muslims across the world. I would like to. Oh boy. Okay, apologies for the brief silence or whatever you might have heard. Just the background noises that was just disturbing me. And locations where I'm less likely to be disturbed. What I was trying to say was, I would like to wish all Muslims worldwide a Ramadan Mubarak and hope their Ramadan is going very well. We're on day 19 already. And this is something I've mentioned before Ramadan was coming through. I predicted that this Ramadan will go quicker than everyone expected. Why? This is because this time around, we're still going to school, still going to work, and we know how the school or work week goes. It just goes quickly. Now, because of the two coming together and what us being busy with all this stuff, it has just been a breeze, just passed us by. Already 2/3 of Ramadan already completed, and we're going to get into the final third. Now, one thing I would like to tell you about the final third of Ramadan. Now, you know, we do a prayer called Taraweeh after Isha. And for those that don't know, basically, it's a special prayer that you pray after Isha. And you can only do this during Ramadan. Now, it consists of 8 rak'ahs to be performed. So it's just two every time. Once you do two, then another two, the third two, then the final two. So 4 sets of two rak'ahs. But now we're getting into the final third. Instead of Tarawih to be prayed after Isha immediately, you'll wait until middle of the night, just around before Suhoor, and that's called Tahajjud. Now it's the same prayer, But this one is supposed to be prayed in the middle of the night. And it's been prayed in the middle of the night. And that one's been done. So that's one thing to know. And in some countries where there's a mosque, people actually just camp in the mosque where their iftar can be brought to them or they can go and bring it from home. They'll sleep in the mosque and they'll just spend the last few days of Ramadan in the mosque. Now, for me, I've not done it before. I did think about it the last time I was staying in Nigeria. It came to my mind, but in the end, I decided not to go through with it. But who knows? Maybe in the future, I might. If I'm in Nigeria, of course. But yeah, with that lot said, let's just get into what's been happening this week. Now, we've we've finished our semester, second semester of college. We're done with that. Thank God it's over. But it's not fully over yet, as we still have to do our exams. Now, for me, two of them for this semester was assessment based, so we don't have to worry about, about exams, which I prefer. Two other ones, it's like, again, they were assessment, but they wanted us to write like a long thing to type out and then submit. Now, one, I'm almost done with that one. And then the third one, the second one, sorry, I need to write a long essay. And with this essay, I have to write about 3,000 words for this essay. And get this, we have to submit it in 2 weeks' time. Now, honestly, that's not enough time. You know what? You can't possibly do 3,000 words in 2 weeks, considering everything else that we need to do. Also, within that same time, the other two exams, those two subjects, we're going to do the exams, just online exam, as if we're doing an exam in exam hall. So, trying to revise for those ones, I know at this moment in time, those papers are coming in 2 weeks' time, but it just creates some sort of inconvenience that I don't want to be involved in, neither do other students. And there's this thing, I've forgotten the name of the thing. I don't, but how it works is if they give like a word limit, they'll only allow like, you could be a certain number of words away from the target, or you can be a certain amount of words over the target. So if this one is 3,000 that they're telling us, they told us that the minimum we can do is 2,700 and the maximum we can do is 3,300. Now, I'm sorry, I don't know anyone that is willing to go over the 3,000 mark unless you're really insane in the head, which is just a prediction. But this time around, after the exams this summer, we will want to make it completely different than last time. We don't want to just be stuck at home like we did last year. This year, 2021. This is the year of redemption, the year of the second chances. This is the year where it's a new beginning. Now, I hope we get to do that, and nothing can get in the way of it. But this is only something we can only hope for until that moment in time. So, even with people doing their masters, I think there's something called a thesis that they need to submit. Someone I've contacted, I'm not going to mention their name, but one person I've talked to, she's doing her thesis, and that's to be submitted almost by the end of July. Like, that's most of her summer consumed, only little left. Well, college is not being the best, our best friend. I mean, to be fair, it has never been our best friend. But it's just something we need to get over and deal with. But how's it? But how's everything with you guys going through? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, let me just talk about some of the football that's been happening this week. Now, in Champions League, in the semifinals between Real Madrid and Chelsea and PSG and City. I'm going to talk about the Real Madrid and Chelsea one first. Now, the first leg ended 1-1. I predicted that Real Madrid will go through to the final. Or in this situation, the first leg was being played in Madrid. Hence, meaning the advantage goes to the advantage is in Chelsea's hands because they have that away goal. But it could have been a lot better for them if it weren't for Timo Werner and his misses. Like, fam, that guy misses more shots than Ederson. And Ederson's a goalkeeper for Man City. But anyways, it's going to go into the second leg. And I still believe Real Madrid will bring out the guns. And I believe Sergio Ramos will be available for that game. So the defense is going to be stronger. Those in form will still do their thing. And yeah, I still believe Real Madrid will go into the final of the Champions League. On to the other semi-final of Man City and PSG. Now, my God, I predicted PSG will go to the final, but looking at things now, it will become very difficult for them to do such. And here's why. It ended 2-1 in the Parc in the in the Parc des Princes in Paris. 2-1 to Man City. And the two goals that Man City scored were absolutely lucky goals. The first goal, De Bruyne crossed the ball in. No one got their head to the ball. And goalkeeper couldn't get to the ball and scored. The second goal was a free kick from Mahrez. And this one was like the similar thing that happened with Cristiano Ronaldo against Porto, where he just opened some space within the wall and Sergio Oliveira scored that free kick. Same thing with Real Mahrez. Uh, even though people saying that Neymar was doing had a good performance against Man City, it was not the same for everyone else. Mbappe was non-existent in that game. Idrissa Gana Gueye got himself sent off, which, in my honest opinion, it was not a red card. That was not a red card. A yellow card. That'll be a yellow card at best, but not a red. But still, it, the advantage is in Man City's favor, but it's still all to play for. This means PSG will need to have a big game at the Etihad. And knowing Man City, they are known to fumbling it in the Champions League. If you want to remember, look back at their quarterfinal against Lyon last season, where they lost 2-1 at home to them. That was an ultimate shocker. But I'm still sticking with my predictions that will come back. PSG will come back and beat Man City and still get to the final. And the final will be Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. on to the Europa League, and then I'm going to talk about the Man United Roma game first. Man United beat Roma 4-2. Now, I did not watch the match because it was none of my problem. But knowing Khalil, he would be very proud and happy that Man United have got a huge lead. And the funny thing is, he doesn't know anything about the final stages being played in two legs. He had no idea about it. Either his team were already in the final. Well, this is not last season. But anyways, 6-2 to them. They dominated the game. They were actually losing 2-1 at first, but then came back to win the game 4-2. I mean 6-2. So it's likely they'll be going to the finals. But Roma have once before did a massive comeback. They once done a massive comeback to beat Barcelona in the quarterfinals of Champions League back in 2018. So I wouldn't rule Roma out from doing the impossible, but the impossible looked unlikely. As for the other semi-final leg, Arsenal against Villarreal at Spain. Oh my God, that was a very, very disappointing match. We lost 2-1, and in fact, we're only lucky to get that one goal, which means we're still in the tie. But if you look at that performance, it was absolutely abysmal. Even the lineup was abysmal. They tried, they tried, Arteta tried to play a false nine because Man City did, did that against PSG. Here's the difference. Arteta's not Guardiola. We are not Man City. Man City can't be able to do that because their wide players can still score goals. Who do we have to score the goals? Nobody. So that did not go in our favor at all. And also, Danny Tobias was the worst player on that pitch. He got himself a yellow card in the first half. He should have been careful. Second half comes in, he does a bad tackle. Now everyone knows that that would have gotten him a second yellow and then sent off. I think the referee was like, "Nah, it's too early into the second half. He doesn't want to ruin it." But it was obvious that that was his last chance, and if he did anything similar like that, he was going to get sent off. One thing I did hear is that the time that happened, Arteta was about to bring on Martinelli and some of Ceballos. But by the time Martinelli was warming up, there Ceballos goes, he commits another foul, he gets himself sent off, which means we're down to 10 men. And this was terrible. We thought it couldn't get any worse. We're conceding 2-0 to Unai Emery's team. Their goal scorers were defenders. Defenders scored the goals, not their attacking players. And the silliest thing was that we still decided to go and play Granit Xhaka left back when their white player, Samuel Chukwueze, was quick, was going to cause problems. And they caused problems, which caused them to score the first goal. The fact that we had Aubameyang, Martinelli, and Nketiah, three strikers on the bench, and we didn't start one of them. And the substitutions were late on. Late on. And again, we scored the one goal thanks to a penalty, which means we're still in. We're still in the tie. And let's be honest with ourselves. We should be beating Villarreal. We're out. I thought we should be. But this was just down to stupid decisions, poor performances. And it's just Arsenal being Arsenal. So I know that Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Tierney, and now Luis were out for a period of time. But now it's been heard that they're likely to return for the second leg. So I know we're playing against Newcastle tomorrow, but I don't care about that game. It's a nothing game. It's not going to get us any better. It's not going to make us any worse. It's just there. So I just say, let the young kids just play that game. Let the likes of Balogun, Katia, Miguel Aziz, basically any players who didn't have any chance of playing in the first team, let them go out and play that match. Heck, let Matt Ryan play that match as well. Play them in the one up on the youth. Let them go and play. But in the game against Villarreal in the second leg, I want to see Bernd Leno play. I want to see Kieran Tierney. I want to see Tony Ruiz, Magalhaes, Cedric Suarez or Callum Chambers at right back, Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey. I would let Odegaard play again. I'll let Odegaard play rather than Smith Rowe. Saka on the right, Pepe on the left. Then up front, I'll probably go with Lacazette. Lacazette, Aubameyang. Whoever's going to play up front, that is. But for me, I like to play two strikers up front. But I know that's not going to happen. But that would be my lineup for the game against Villarreal. The second leg, we can beat them. We can beat them. Like the difference between us and the final is 1-0. And if we can do it 1-0, then we can get to the final. Think about it. Look at Man United. They would want Villarreal to be in the final. Because if it comes to us, Arsenal, the last time they beat us was back in January 2019 in the early stage of the FA Cup at home when Sanchez and Lingard scored. That was the last time, 2 years ago. And the last time they beat us in the league was back in early 2018 at Old Trafford 2-1. So ever since then, they haven't beaten us. Solskjaer hasn't had a goal against us. So in a one-off game, we can beat United. So I just hope that Arsenal becomes serious and do what they need to do and beat Villarreal, get to the final. Because think about it. Where we are in this situation, if we don't win the Europa League, we will have no European football next season. No European football next season. And that is very hard for me to even contemplate. It's bad enough that we were in the Champions League for around 20 seasons, just like Real Madrid. Then we are out of it, but not to be in Europe at all for the first time since God knows when. Since God knows when. It's absolutely insane just even thinking about it. So it's Europa League or nothing at this point in time. Also, that's just the football I'm going to talk about. A little bit back to Ramadan. Now, this is a question I'd like to ask some people that are fasting. Have you ever found yourselves just suddenly watching food content on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, even Snapchat, if any? Because you're fasting, you haven't eaten anything, drinking anything, and you just find yourself just watching, looking at food, like guessing your license, like, oh, you haven't eaten food, just want to eat food. Maybe I'm alone, but I know for certain this is something I do. I don't feel hungry. I don't feel like, oh my God, I want to eat food. I just find myself doing it. No problems at all. Like from making the food to eating the food, like I'm just seeing all of it. And I should feel strange, but I don't. I just don't. Just something there that's happened to me this time around. Also, one thing I would like to mention is next week will be the final Ramadan special on the Reality podcast. So after that, we'll be back to normal, just normal episodes. And who knows, we might have a guest, maybe we might not. But it is what it is. We'll have to wait and see. Also, question of the week. I would like to ask you all, let's say, for example, you are an employer. You're looking to hire someone for a vacant job you've announced. Now, this person that comes in, he has all the qualifications, he has the experience, and basically, he is a standout candidate from the rest of the people that are looking to apply for that same job. But the only thing in the middle of it, the only thing that make you think of whether to hire them or not, is the fact that they've recently got out of prison. Now, my question to you is, would you still hire that person? Yes or no? And I would like to know why. Because here's the thing, if I was the employer, I would still hire that person on some conditions. Maybe one condition, maybe the other. Now, I have two conditions which I might apply. The first one is I'll have that person on a temporary contract. So when I say temporary contract, what I mean is I'll I'll have that person on the job for a certain period of time. Give them about 6 months. So within that 6 months, we'll be looking to analyze them, just supervise that person while they're working, and to hopefully make sure that nothing nothing goes wrong, that it doesn't fall into the same situation that got them into prison or get them into criminal trouble or legal troubles. If they get away with it, if they've analyzed and looked at, okay, he's fit for the job and there's nothing to worry about, then I'll just hire him. Or secondly, I would hire that person, have them on a full contract, but he'll be he'll be under strict supervision. So wherever they assign that person to go, working in the workplace, have them just watch over the person, make sure everything is all right. And then again, if things go well, you can leave him. And if it doesn't go right, you can just release the person and then look for another person again. Because here's the problem with society, like, they're not willing to give people a second chance. Now, I can understand that there are some certain things that you can't do to be given a second chance. Like, if you're a pedophile or a molester or a rapist, obviously you can't be given a second chance on that one. If you murdered someone, you can't be given a second chance on that. But if it was something like maybe you got sent away for a crime that you didn't do, but there was no evidence to prove that you're innocent, or you maybe did something like stealing, but it was not that big of a deal. You got sent away, did your time, Just here's a question: people that go to prison and get out of it, what's the point of sending them to prison? Is it not to? Is it not for them to serve their time? Basically going to prison is a punishment. So they go to prison there for a period of time, probably like a few years, like 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 30 years, and then they come out and they want to start afresh. They want to stay away from the thing that sent them to prison. They want a second chance. Now, if we can't give those people a second chance, those are that are willing to turn a new page in their chapter, we can't give them a second chance. How do we expect things to get better? Because think about it. Some people deserve second chances. Some other people don't. Now, just because a person is sent to prison, I can understand why they wouldn't want to hire that person because it's a crime they've committed and possible chances of them doing it again or something similar. But think about it. Just think about this for a certain amount of minutes. Think this for a few minutes. That like it's really hard to really understand and to just see things like this happen. That you have a for like if you go to prison, if you're a criminal record, you go to prison, serve your time, you come out, your criminal record should be cleared because you've gone to prison, you served your time, and then you come out. It should be clear. The criminal record shouldn't hang on you like that just because it's there. Because I know you doing that crime is now part of history. Yes, it's a part of history. You cannot rewrite history, you cannot change history. But if you're not going to give people second chances, then who really has a chance? If you know what I mean. But that's what I have to say on that situation. What do you think? Like I said, let me know in the comments section below. But anyways, I'm going to end the episode right here. Abdullahi and Khalil, unfortunately, haven't come on. But I just want to say thank you all so much for listening to this episode. I apologize once more for the technical difficulty that happened in the previous episode. Like here, we apologize for the technical difficulties. You know how it is. But anyways, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the Untitled Podcast YouTube channel. Like we said, we're trying to get it to 50 subscribers by the end of the year. And we're so close today. So just, if you're not subscribed, just look at the subscribe button right there. Just hit it. Click that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers. This is episode 42, so think about it. There's more episodes we uploaded than subscribers we have. You guys listening to this can make a difference for us. You can follow us on our social medias. There's my social medias over here. You can follow other social medias on the screen as well. And follow Khalil's social medias on the screen as well. We will be back next week for the final Ramadan special, which will be part 4 of the Ramadan special. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care and peace.